How to use the GPA calculator as a university student. Today, I'm going to guide you through how to navigate and use the various features of the GPA calculator. To begin, first you need to download the Excel sheet, and if you haven't, the link is right below. Now that you have downloaded the Excel sheet, open the file and enable macros. You'll be directed to this home page, and so you click University and you reach this Uni GPA Calculator worksheet. So in this worksheet, there's 3 sections. So the first section is this portion where we are able to calculate the GPA, the cumulative GPA, and the changes in different pass or fail scenario. So when you move to the right side, there's 2 more sections over here. So the top portion is where you can calculate the number of graded and non-graded modules that you have left till graduation. And the bottom portion is where you can calculate the average GPA you should aim to reach your target cumulative GPA. So I'll be using this student profile to illustrate how to use these 3 sections. In section 1, you need to first choose the university that he's studying in, which is SMU. Click enter. And what this does is it updates these 2 tables according to your university. After which you need to key in your module, grade, CU, credit unit or academic units, and then the criteria on whether if it's graded or non-graded module. So for grade, you can either select or just type it out. Same goes to the graded and non-graded. Do note that if you were to type out for the grade, it may have this system where it automatically suggests something for you based on whatever you have typed previously. So do make sure that you check through that the grades that you have keyed in is correct. Also, do note that if you were to accidentally shift any cell, for example, what is illustrated over here, do undo whatever you have just done, because this will affect how the formula works and you will not be able to tabulate your GPA and continue for the rest of the worksheet. So now I'll be just keying in all the modules as well as the grade for this student. So now that I have keyed in all the grades, CU as well as the graded criteria for the modules, we can see that this is his current GPA for the semester, 3.2, and the cumulative GPA, which is 3.44. So to determine whether or not if you want to SU the mod, what you can do is just change the specific module into non-graded. So as a rule of thumb, we would like to SU the mod with the lowest grade. So in this case, it will be this module with C+. Just need to click non-graded. And what you can see is that it's reflected, the cumulative and current GPA is updated according to the calculation of the GPA. So what you can do is just explore and try out what happens to your GPA when you SU different mods, and you can compare and see what's the best choice for you. So other than the SU option that we can utilize this semester, we also have other pass-fail modules as well. So in SMU, we have term exchange, summer or winter exchange, as well as exploratory modules. So for instance, if you were to have term exchange after year 1 sem 2, what you need to do is just key in the grades, the CU, and then key in ungraded for this portion. And what if you have summer or winter exchange? What you need to do is just change this to summer exchange. And do the same, key in the grade CU and put it as ungraded, and remember to update the rest of the semester as well. And last but not least, exploratory modules, where we can only declare them in our final term, but you'll probably like to know how our cGPA will be affected. So what you can do is that when the whole worksheet is filled up, you can click non-graded for the modules that you would like to declare as exploratory modules and see how your final cGPA is reflected. Do note that this will be different for different university, and for SMU friends, I've placed a link below to show to direct you to the exploratory modules if you want to know more information about it. So it may seem a bit tedious to key in all these values, But I will assure you that this will be worth it because you'll be able to use this worksheet throughout the entire years you'll be in school. So in the case of SMU, where we have minimum requirement of 21 graded credit units, as well as minimum requirement of specific credit units based on the number of major you have, as well as the different degree that you have, we would like to know how many CUs that you have left to clear for graded and non-graded modules. So therefore, I created a section 2 where you can tabulate the number of CU that you have left for your graded and non-graded modules till graduation. So for this case, we would key in the number of exemption he has, which is 4 credit units. Then there's 2 approaches where we can fill in the other 2 cells. So first, you may want to find out the number of graded CUs that you have left till graduation by meeting the requirement of minimum 21 graded CU. Otherwise, you may want to find out the number of graded CUs left in order to tabulate the average GPA for the coming semester, which will be covered in section 3. So first, the minimum requirement in SMU is 21, so I'll be keying in 21 over here. After that, because he's taking a single major, it will be a minimum of 36 credit units, so I'll key in 36 minus the other 2 value. And when I click enter, you can see that nothing is reflected yet because we haven't chosen the semester. So we will select year 1 sem 2, and you can see that the GPA is reflected, as well as the number of modules that he has cleared for graded and non-graded modules and how many that's left. So we can see that the most important figure over here is 13, which is the number of graded CU he has left in order to graduate by meeting the requirement of 21 minimum graded CU. So second method is that we need to tabulate how many CUs he exactly will be taking for the coming semester. So we'll be tabulating the number of non-graded CUs that he intends to take. So let's count. First, we have 1 SU that he intends to take this semester. He also wants to take exchange, go for an exchange, and he's assuming that he can clear 4 CU. On top of that, he also wants to go for a short-term program where he can clear 1 CU. And last but not least, fully utilize the 2 exploratory modules. And if you add everything up together, that will be a total of 8 non-graded CU. So you can 8 over here, and then we update the graded CU by keying equal 36 minus the other 2 values. So we can see that he has 16 more CU to go in order to graduate, and at the same time he's able to meet the minimum requirement of 21 graded CU as well. So moving on to the last section, which is this part, where one could calculate and key in the target cumulative GPA for the next sem, or for graduation, or even set a target of your awards or classification. So for the first part, for example, if he would like to hit a GPA of 3.65 for the next sem, and he's intending to take 4 modules, which is 4 credit units, and all he had to do is just click enter, and you can see this is the current GPA that he should aim for the next semester. Also, if you look at target cumulative GPA for till graduation, perhaps he would like to reach a target of 3.7. And then how many number of CU left, you may wonder. We have already tabulated over here, so 16, and click enter. So we can see that it's 3.76 for the rest of the semester. So this is a number that we can use as an average number, whereby he would need to meet around 3.76 per semester in order to hit his target cumulative GPA of 3.7 eventually. You can also set a target award or classification. So let's say he's looking at high distinction, and this will be also 16. And just need to key enter, and this is the average GPA that he need to obtain. So this portion is a place where you can revisit every SEM, because every SEM that you cleared certain modules, the number of CU left will change, which will be reflected accordingly because this is automatically calculated. You just need to update these two values and click enter again. So you may wonder, how do I hit the average GPA in order to reach my target cumulative GPA for the next SEM or for till graduation? So a rule of thumb is to look at the grading table over here. So in order to get a cumulative GPA of 3.65 next semester, I need to obtain 3.78 for current GPA. So if you look at the table, 3.78 is around this range basically, and on the estimate you'll be getting A's in order to hit the target cumulative GPA. So what you can do is just try and key in the grades that you might get and explore, and in order to find out what is the minimum or different possibility of getting the minimum GPA in order to reach your target cumulative GPA. So as I really tried before, this is one possibility of reaching your target cumulative GPA. But there may be instances where there's a certain module that you are weaker in, perhaps you are getting B+ for this. All you need to do is work harder for the other modules, and you'll still be able to get and reach your cumulative GPA. So what you need to do is just try and set expectations for your specific mods, so you know which module you need to spend more time on, and it's for you to try. So moving on and coming back to section 3, I have some small little tips for you and some warning as well. So for instance, looking at whatever we have right now, we know that our GPA is rounded up into 2DP. We want to know what is the minimum GPA that we need to obtain in order to reach our target GPA, right? So what we can do is that I have this small little hack where you can just put a number that's smaller than what you initially has put as a target, such that this number will be rounded up back to this exact number as well. So for 3.65, we'll want to use a smaller digit that will still be rounded up to 3.65, which will be 3.645. And we can see that when we click enter, 3.78 changed to 3.76, which means that you will need a lower average GPA in order to reach the same GPA of 3.65 as well. So same goes to 3.7. You can change this to 3.695, and when you click enter, yes, you do see some difference as well. But it's not necessary true all the time, because what changes is the decimal points behind, and this is just the bare minimum average GPA that you can look at as a target. So this is just a small trick from me. And on top of that, I have this warning for you, whereby if you see that the GPA to obtain is higher than the highest GPA that you can possibly get in your school, it means that you are unable to reach this target cumulative GPA you have set. So let's say, example, 3.9, and then you see that this number is higher than 4.3, which is the highest GPA that he could possibly get. It means that it's impossible for him to get 3.9 by next semester. So all you need to do is just lower expectations, and after that you can just try several combinations of grades, and eventually this is just a GPA calculator that help to make you plan and know how much effort you would like to put in for certain semester as well as your specific mods as well. So I hope that this tutorial has been useful for you. If you find that it has been useful for you, do share it with your friends too so they can benefit as well. Thank you and bye bye.